Hey, what's up, everybody? So, getting a couple things done before I go to the gym. I decided, oh, there goes my hat. And so I decided to just, share a couple things that's going on. First of all, I want to say thank everybody, for watching videos and commenting and all that other stuff. Chief Peep, thanks, bro. I see all the comments and stuff like that, so I just want to say thank you guys. I may not respond to every single one of them, but I see them. And for everybody who commented on the Michael Jordan "Time Slows Down When You Master Your Craft" video, if you've played sports and even at your job, when you get so good at something, things will be easier. Your thought processes versus somebody else's will be more at peace. Therefore, you're able to execute and do things on the field or on the court that a lot of people might be in awe of. So I didn't try to say anything supernatural about it, but a lot of people are just born to do certain things, and I believe that I had that same effect when I was a junior in high school, that I all of a sudden I just had a like what they say, like some people just break through. I just broke through. And sports became, football in particular, let me be specific. Football became very easy for me. I didn't like taking breaks. I did not like drinking water. I did not like timeouts. I had a high motor where when everybody was on 100, 200, my brain was able to slow down things and process things quicker than everybody else, so I was able to just do wild things on the field. And so that's all I want to say about that. I had some notes, but I can't get off the screen or whatnot. We're doing strength training today. 6 to 8 reps. When I go to the gym, I normally do 20, 15, 12, and then if I'm feeling good, the way I'm, depending, I'll do another set of 20. High reps, low breaks. That's how I'm able to build muscle and lean muscle at that so fast, because I don't take a lot of breaks. I don't take long breaks. That's why a lot of people say, well, man, can you record, some of the stuff that you're doing in there? In due time, I will. It sucks that I would like you guys to see a lot of the, my progress and stuff like that now, but I'm sorry. That going to the gym is something for me that is very, I take that stuff very serious. And I don't have time. I'm already looking at people on certain, certain types of equipment and stuff I want to use, and just trying to get to certain spots in the gym before other people get to them. I don't have that kind of time to grab my phone and make sure my phone is recording and it ain't stopped and I don't have messages and all that. I don't have that time, y'all. So I'll have to get another cell phone for that. So one of the things that was on my mind was Africa is coming back from vacation. Things have been good to great without her being in the building. A lot of people probably think, well, I don't notice anything. Of course you don't. Of course you don't. A lot of people are saying, why don't you like Africa, man? She's cool. When you're an NPC, normally you're gonna find other NPCs to be cool. You know, I know a couple people that I could bring around Africa and she would act the exact same way that she acts toward me, and them same dudes will be like, fuck wrong with that stupid ass bitch. You better tell her to quit talking to me. That's how they'll treat her too, because they'll be able to sense it, just like I was able to sense it. They'll be like, man, that bitch, like, it's something about her is unsettling. I know. So, she's coming back, but I told you guys I have a plan, and I'm already activating it. You know, I enjoy the challenge of being under the influence of marijuana, tobacco, and having to deal with, I tell y'all, a lot of times I don't want to do certain things. I don't. A lot of times I don't want to go train. A lot of times I don't want to do a lot of things. But I told y'all in 2025, and with my brother passing, man, I just had this idea of like, dog, I'm tired of, like, I really do want to be able to look back in 2 years and say, man, what would have happened if I never would have started? What would have happened if I never would have started, you know, writing rhymes? You know, I'm not no rapper, but a lot of guys ain't no damn rapper nowadays. So in my free time, I'm starting to just write raps and whatever, you know, try to make money off of that, you know. You know, it's a lot of things that I'm doing in my free time, or hell, even when I'm at work. I suffer from one of those people that I'm always having to do two to three things at one time. I can never do one thing at a time. That's why I said me and my roommate, we fell out when it came to responsibility as a man. When you wake up in the morning, I should see your black ass going in there to brush your teeth and wash your face. But instead, you roll over and you jump on this fucking game. If I hear you coughing and I'm like, nigga, you ain't even came in the bathroom and like brush your teeth, wash your face and shit. And it would be like, compared to what I do every day, he would not, like, he can game for 5+ hours, like, consistently. I can't do it. I can't do it. I've tried, you know, having everything that I need around me, and then I'm still like, okay, well, I'm playing the game and watching YouTube videos. You know, that's just the way that's the way I'm built. It is something that I suffer from, because a lot of times I don't want to do shit. A lot of times I just want to chill. But my brain just gets, and I think that's a lot to do with weed. My brain gets to a point where it's like, I got to add something. I got to add something to this and spice it up a little bit. And that there is like, I must say, if you a female of mine, then you are in luck. Because I'm very spontaneous, even to myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I enjoy doing, I won't say random things, but things that I know that resonate with spirituality. I don't mind going to a dog park and actually play with my dog. You know, I don't mind going to, you know, the park and walk and talk and actually build chemistry between somebody that I like and, you know, something that I like to do. I don't mind, you know, going to, you know, eat at random places, or just cooking and go pull up to somewhere and eat, you know, whatever. You know, I'm very spontaneous because there's always something that triggers me to want to do more. So, with that being said, the Corey Holcomb video that I posted, I like that video because I have seen this far too many times in my life. They have I'm gonna say they, I hate using that word. Society have managed, to fall so far where women particularly the blacks, but women think that men, or hell, they even think just to themselves that fake eyelashes, fake hair, fake body parts, you think in some crazy ass world that this makes you a bad bitch. Okay? Caking up, makeup, all these different things have aggravated me to the bone over the years, because I've met so many girls, so many women, so many ladies that say, I want to do makeup. I want to do hair. And I've always asked the question, especially when I came into the knowledge of, does the world need more hairstylists? When I hear people say, I want to open a business. Okay, well, what you want to do? I want to open up a tanning booth. Does the world need more? Now, look, there's a slippery slope with that, because not everybody, well, let me finish up my point about this, and I'm going to move on to something that me and Caesar talked about. And that is, ladies, that shit is not cute, okay? You are not a bad bitch. You are not a bad female. If you wake up in the morning and I see you at your quote-unquote worst, which just depends on how you look at it. If I see you looking like that, right? And you think in some way, shape, or form that I'm going to just look past that, when I say that, I mean look past the point in which, okay, I want to go get, or I'll put it to you like this. I don't do the fake hair, all right? I don't do fake hair because at any given moment, all right, something is going to happen. Something is going to be said from me to make you very uncomfortable with what I believe in. All right? I can't be how I am and say that, oh, well, I don't mind if my girl got fake hair and all of this other stuff. The only thing that I would probably say you get to pass is fake teeth, because, things happen over the years to our teeth that we don't expect to happen. And if we can't, it's a confidence thing. It's a confidence thing that gets in the way if we are not able to smile. So that's about the only thing. Nails, I don't give a shit. That's one of those modern day things that as a man you're gonna have to submit and just know that that's just part of, it's like guys today with sagging britches. A lot of guys, you're gonna just have to, I mean, you don't have to, but you just a lot of times gonna have to just be okay with the fact that, yeah, my man sags. He's a white guy that sags his britches for what reason, I don't know. Yeah, my black boyfriend sags. I don't like when he shows his fucking draws out in public, but I can't tell him anything because he just thinks it's cool. But that's not cute. That has never been attractive or anything. Real men out there, what is a real man? A real man, he sees through the lies. Okay, for example, the little chick at work I told y'all about, when she said, she just had a moment where she said, Charles, you think I'm funny? No. Just looked at no. And it was a moment that in real time slowed down. I was like, damn, I didn't even catch myself saying that before I said it. But I was, I was honest. You see, and then of course that then creates another negative narrative around, well, he he answered me like that. I asked him if he think I'm funny and so on and so forth, but then followed up, I said, hey, you're funny. You're funny. I said, you're unintentionally funny. And she's 16 or 17, so she don't know what that word means. And she was like, what that mean? And I was like, when you're not trying to be funny, that's when you're funny. And so, you know, she kind of smiled a little bit like, oh, okay, I see what you're saying. And, but the point is, all that is that, hey, stop, you know, it's not gonna stop, because women today have just, I mean, guys, we're not any different. I mean, I am, but the common guy is just no different. You know, a lot of posing, inauthentic. You know, that's one of the things that I was telling George at work about. He's, you know, because he likes Alyssa. They're about the same age. And I told him, I said, you know, she doesn't look at Caesar like she looks at you, George. I say her Caucasian tendencies then kicked in. And now she's looking at the success side, or the profitable side of being attached to you. So I say she looks at Caesar just like eye candy. She looks at Caesar as the bum that why you got all this jewelry on. You pulling 12-hour shifts knowing you don't have to, but you pulling 12-hour shifts. And he likes to ride the clock. He's that kind of scum. Like, you'll ride the clock and you're literally sharing the same frustrations that us that are actually supposed to be there, you're now trying to, like I said, that's what ticks me off about it. I'm like, dog, you don't even have to be here. Why are you here? You making yourself mad, and then you going off into all these diatribes about everybody always negative. Maybe you'll get the fuck out of here. But see, he got the earrings and the Cuban zirconia chain and the Huarache shoes and all that. And I'm like, bro, even though Alyssa's young, she looks at that like, why are you still here? Why don't you have a car? If you got all this stuff, why don't you have a car? Why don't you, you know? And I've always said that, like, have you ever seen anybody at a job come up legitimately? They get the job, they walking. You know, couple months, they got them a bike. Couple more months, they got them, you know, they can afford an Uber, or, you know, before these days, you know, back then you didn't upgrade and get you a car. And then after that, you know, you just start to see like, oh, we see where your money going. You know what I'm saying? And that's another thing I was going to start doing, y'all. I will not be disposing of food over there at the camp. Starve these bastards out. You know, I done fed y'all long enough. I done fed y'all chicken to the point where, man, you can see these niggas doing circus moves now. Because of the high levels of protein in the chicken, even though it's probably spoiled by the time they get it. But you could just see them act different. They jump branches. They look like squirrels. It's insane. But waking up in the morning, I'm looking at you in your natural state is what the goal is. And I'm like, damn, that boy was bad in a bitch. I done seen some females with no makeup, like, Jesus Christ. So the stuff that happened with Caesar at work, we got into a conversation about, he brought up the fact that he didn't know if he liked slow days at work or fast-paced days. And you know, because he's such, you know, I'm so used to just putting people in a full of shit box that when you actually say something to me that I actually have to, you know, that I heard, I'm like, oh, yeah, I could relate to that. I don't really know what kind of days I like. You know, they kind of all just are the same. And you know, especially here in Houston, you don't have what they call slow days here in Houston. So, and, you know, then he, you know, so we just start talking. Hey, man, yeah, you know, I just, you know, like, I like it. And then I told him, because I was like, and I told George this because George told me, he was like, Charles, he was like, bro, he was like, don't get mad at me or like feel like you got to talk to me if I start talking. He was like, a lot of times, bro, I just need to get it out. And I was like, nigga, me too. I do the same shit, bro. I tell that nigga a lot of times I come to work, my nigga, I don't want to say shit to Caesar because I know that nigga's retarded. That nigga got the attention span of a fight. And when I said this, he like, I told him, I was like, bro, I know people be talking shit when I'm not here. I said, I'm pretty sure that nigga done said the worst. You know what I'm saying?
But I was like, nigga, that don't excuse me from saying what I gotta say about him. And that's what I told him. I was like, bro, I know Caesar done said some off the wall shit. Boy, they got these bull dyke lesbians that's like security guards. That ain't a real good idea. They want to be dudes. Sometimes you need to be sweet to avoid drama. So it's one chicken left. Oh man. Man, we got, do I want this? What I got rice? I got rice for something. What the fuck I got the rice for? What was I gonna get, y'all? This is why I said I don't talk and record at the same time. I might think about it. I just gotta put it in the basket and I'll figure it out later. But so this nigga, he's like, yeah, man, what's up, baby? I'm all right, I'm doing good. He say, yeah, man, like, I don't really know if I like, and I was like, yeah, I don't know what kind of days I like either. Like, I'm not complaining about it, but, you know what I'm saying? Like, all the days are, like, mixed together, you know what I mean? So I really can't complain about one. And I told him, I was like, bro, that's why whenever you say stuff like, you ready to work today? Like, nigga, what the fuck you, like, I'm here. Like, I already know what kind of day it's gonna be. And so, I told him, I said, like I told George, I said, George, this nigga's, like, attention span is that of a 5-year-old. And he was like, y'all, I'm gonna come back in another video because I gotta focus. Like, I gotta cut back on a lot of sugar too, because it's contributing to the headache. So I gotta read ingredients. And I don't want y'all just sitting here watching me read ingredients. So just give me a second, I'll be right back.